The Moto G5S Plus smartphone comes with powerful internals, premium aluminum design, stock Android, and dual rear cameras. It is competing with the sub 16,000 rupees smartphones like Xiaomi Redmi Note 4, Nokia 6, and the new Xiaomi Mi A1. The Moto G5S Plus is basically an upgraded Moto G5 Plus, which was launched just 6 months ago. Most of the internals are the same. The Moto G5S Plus does look and feel premium more than its predecessor. The return of the iconic Moto dimple is a good decision. It provides a nifty place to rest your index finger. The smartphone's slightly curved back and rounded edges also make it comfortable to hold. The Moto G5 and Moto G5 Plus have metal backs and plastic sides, but the Moto G5S Plus comes with a proper unibody aluminum design. The front is dominated by a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display. Below the screen is the home button with integrated fingerprint sensor. On top of the display, there is a selfie camera, earpiece, and LED flash. Above the display, we can also see the Moto branding. The non-removable back panel is completely made of metal. With the dual rear camera and antenna bands at the top and bottom. Due to the design, be very careful while placing the smartphone on any surface, as there is always a chance for damaging the lens. Volume rockers and textured power button are on the right edge of the smartphone. On the left edge is the hybrid SIM tray, in which we can use 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 microSD card at the same time. At the bottom, you can see the micro USB port and speaker grill. The 3.5mm headphone jack is alone at the top edge. The Moto G5S Plus comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD IPS LCD display, which is 0.3 inches larger than its predecessor. The increase in screen size does impact one-hand usability. This display comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The colors are vivid, viewing angles are good, and sharpness is also great. Maximum brightness is also good enough for outdoor visibility. Unlike many budget smartphones, the Moto G5S Plus handles the sunlight pretty well. Bezels are big, but we can't expect a bezel-less design just like the LG Q6 with such internals at this price range. There are 2 color profiles. By default, it is set to vivid. The other mode gives a neutral look. You can change it if you want, but the difference is not much. Below the display is a fingerprint scanner. It is fast, but not lightning fast. But it is still faster than using pin or pattern lock. On the fingerprint scanner, you can swipe left to go back, right to open recent apps, tap once for home, press and hold to turn the display off, and if you want to access Google Assistant, press and hold it longer. There is a blue light filter option called Night Display. It gets automatically activated based on your defined times. Another feature is the Moto display, which allows notifications to fade in and out while the screen is off. Motorola also managed to add NFC feature in this smartphone, letting you use wireless payments. The Moto G5S Plus also comes with support for USB OTG. It has nano coating, which makes it water resistant up to an extent. The one feature missing is a compass, which allows apps like Google Maps to understand your direction. This phone can support microSD cards up to 256 GB in capacity. One disappointing difference from Moto G5 Plus is the lack of a dedicated microSD card slot. Moto G5S Plus comes with a hybrid slot, which can accommodate either 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 microSD card at the same time. In addition to the usual set of proximity and ambient light sensors, the phone also has gyroscope and magnetic sensor for VR headsets. It doesn't have an LED notification. Speaker volume is good and it doesn't distort at higher levels. It has deep mids, little bass is also present. Headphone jack provides above average output, but definitely not as good as the audio output of Xiaomi Mi A1, which has a dedicated amp. The Moto G5S Plus comes with the same 2 GHz octa-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 625 processor paired with Adreno 506 GPU. It has 64 GB of internal storage and 4 GB of RAM. It runs on a near-stock version of Android 7.1.1 Nougat. The stock Android works very smoothly. It is capable of performing daily tasks like casual web browsing, using social media applications like Twitter and Facebook, navigating via Google Maps, and so on with ease. The Snapdragon 625 with 4 GB RAM and stock Android combination handles most tasks without lag. The Snapdragon 625 does have limitations. If you load too many applications and games at once, it will not be able to perform smoothly. We did test the Moto G5S Plus with games like Asphalt 8 and Modern Combat 5. The Asphalt 8 had some frame drops without affecting the gameplay. For gaming, this phone is excellent. We rarely experienced any overheating issues thanks to the thermal efficient chipset, but the smartphone does heat up while charging. It is due to the turbocharging feature. The default video player was able to play high bitrate Full HD videos and even 4K videos without any issue. It comes with stock Android 7.1.1 Nougat, but Motorola did some additions here and there to improve the overall experience. Gestures like twist for opening the camera and double shake for turning the torch are really good. You get the same pull-up apps menu just like the Google Pixel phones, but the background uses a dimmer version of the home screen wallpaper instead of the Google standard plain white sheet. There is one useful extra app called Moto, which allows users to customize the extra features which include Moto Display and Moto Actions. Using the Moto Actions feature, you can replace the on-screen navigation buttons by swiping on the fingerprint scanner. An upgrade to Android Oreo has been promised. It will reach the phone by the end of this year. The phone does get a little warm while gaming and charging, but it didn't cross 39 degrees. 16 minutes of charging gives around 25% of battery life from 0%. It takes just 40 minutes to charge up to 50% and more than an hour to reach up to 75%. But after that, it takes 45 more minutes to reach the finish line. 0 to 100% in 1 hour and 50 minutes. Comparing the battery life shows the Moto G5S Plus gives less battery life than the Xiaomi Mi 11 with almost the same battery capacity. We played a Full HD video with 70% volume and full brightness in loop for 90 minutes and the charge dropped by 17%. 30 minutes of gaming takes 9% battery life, which means we can get 5 to 5.5 hours of gaming on a single charge. An average user can get more than a day from this smartphone's 3000 mAh battery. Thanks to the power-efficient Snapdragon 625 chipset, the Moto G5S Plus can give 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time, which is not spectacular but good. With normal usage, you will still have 35 to 40% battery life by the end of the day. Just like many other Moto smartphones, this one also comes with a turbocharger which claims to provide 5 hours of battery life from just 15 minutes of charging. Well, it depends on your usage. Moto G5S Plus comes with a dual rear camera setup using two 13-megapixel sensors with an aperture of f2.0. The phone uses one RGB sensor and one monochrome sensor. This setup can allow users to capture images with depth of field information and perform better in low light conditions, but low light photography is not that great in this smartphone. Motorola claims that the addition of the second sensor allows features like selective color, background replacement, and selective black and white coloring. You can shoot images with depth of field or bokeh effects and then use the image editor to change the amount of the blur or make a part of the image black and white. This feature is only available for shooting images, not for videos. In our test, the device struggled to get better background blur effect, especially in artificial lighting conditions. We are sorry to say that we couldn't take much sample images due to bad weather conditions. It does have shutter lag in almost all scenarios. Moto G5 Plus didn't have this issue. You won't be able to capture back-to-back photos. It saves the image 1 second after you press the shutter button, which means you won't be able to capture the exact moment. Let's hope they fix the shutter lag in future through an update. The camera can record 4K videos in 30 frames per second. It can also record Full HD videos in 60 frames per second and 720p slow motion videos in 120 frames per second. The wide-angle 8 megapixel front camera is average, nothing exceptional here. It can produce good images with impressive detail. The presence of a front LED flash makes the front camera usable even in low light conditions. Wi-Fi works very well. There were no disconnection or signal issues. It comes with the usual 802.11 ABGN connectivity. The high-speed 5 GHz AC mode is not available here. 4G also works very well. We tested it with Jio and Airtel. It had good signal reception and voice quality was also good. The earpiece is loud enough and there is no distortion even in full volume. The Moto G5 Plus had a feature to use the earpiece as a secondary speaker. This feature is not available in the Moto G5S Plus. In our test, indoor GPS reception was average with 70 meters of accuracy after 10 seconds. Outdoor, the phone picks up signals very fast with an accuracy of 5 meters within 1 or 2 seconds, which is very good. Temperature was always in control without crossing the line. It does heat up a little bit while charging using the provided turbocharger, but it is not too much. Playing the games for more than 30 minutes made the rear panel heat up to 39 degrees, which is not a big problem. Moto G5 Plus was already a good smartphone. Moto added a dual rear camera and a whole lot of metal to make it better. The Moto G5S Plus offers butter smooth software, a premium all metal design, a vivid display, a great primary camera for the price, solid battery life and powerful internals. Moto should have implemented a better dual rear camera setup. If you already have the Moto G5 Plus, it is not worth the upgrade. The dual rear camera setup is not that impressive. The secondary sensor is a gimmick. The Moto G5 Plus has better camera than the Moto G5S Plus in my opinion. It may have less features, but there is no shutter lag and low light performance is good with better aperture. If you are planning to buy a smartphone under 16,000 rupees, I would recommend the Xiaomi Mi A1. It also has a dual rear camera setup, which is more practical. And it definitely works better than the Moto G5S Plus. Xiaomi Mi A1 also offers faster Android updates. I'm ending the video here. Use the link in the description section for more camera samples and images of the Moto G5S Plus. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. If you have already subscribed, hit the bell icon to get notified about future updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a great day.